Okay, guys, so I think it is time we show some love to one of my favorite tools in the shop and probably um, one of the most underrated tools in the shop. It's a tool that a lot of people might not think about. It's an upgrade from what most people have, but it is well worth it. And I'm talking, of course, about my 14-inch Evolution chop saw. Um, I've had this thing for 3 years, and I do a lot of cutting with it. As you can see, all the cut material. This is just from this week. I usually clean this all up at the end of each week, and it is all over the ground. This was just an hour of cutting. It was all of this that I'm lining up for ramp orders for this week, and it is a beautiful cut. That is on a dull blade. That's the cut. If I remember right, I bought this saw and the circular saw. I want to say it was like $500 for the pair. But it is a really good saw. And I had the Evolution chop saw blade in it to begin with. This one is the Diablo blade, 14-inch blade. They're about the same price. And the only reason I pick a Diablo blade over a Evolution blade is availability. They cut the same. They cost about the same. I think the last time I usually buy these, like, I go through about 4 blades a year, which I think is pretty good because I do a lot of cutting. Because the finish is so good, I always prefer to cut with this over angle grinder or a torch because the cut finish is so precise and such a clean finish. So I go through about 4 of these blades a year, and I usually order the blades around Christmas time. I might actually end up going through 5 blades a year because this one's getting a little dull and we're only in October. But anyways, it cuts like butter. And I love all the bells and whistles on it. This, you flip this up, you can easily slide that back and forth. It does angles. Tells you minimum cuts, angles, and all of that stuff. And it will do 4 3/4 square tube at a 90 degree. I love the saw. It was a big addition to the shop because before this, I was just using the old traditional abrasive chop saw, and the blade, when they fire up, they go like this. It's 10 times dirtier, slower, and a much less cut quality. All my viewers know I make trailer ramps for a little extra income out of my garage, and I make hundreds of ramps a year. I cut all the pieces on this, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 cuts, if I counted correctly, 18 cuts per ramp, 36 cuts per pair of ramps, and I sell 100 pair a year easy. So, yeah, because 52 weeks in a year, and I usually do about 3 to 4 sets a week. So, yeah, maybe even over that. So, anyways, what I'm saying is it is a great addition to the shop. It is fast. Like I said, I did all of this cutting in, I think, about an hour, maybe an hour 15, hour 20. There was setup time, breakdown time. Actual cut time, I'd say, was about an hour. So and time is money. So anytime you can save time and improve the overall quality of the product, this being a cut, it is super well worth doing. So if you've been in the market for one of these and you've just really been wondering, should you pull the plug on them, should you not? I have had this thing for 3 years now, using it week in, week out, and I have 0 complaints. It's never once not worked for me. I don't do it so often anymore, but I used to take this thing with me on the road, especially if I was doing like gates or fencing or handrails. I would take it with me. I haven't been doing that so much lately, mainly because I've been getting more into shop work and I don't want to be taking this in and out and in and out and in and out. And a lot of times now when I make handrails, I just get measurements, make them in-house, and then I just go install them. It's just easier that way for me. But anyways, as I was saying, I used to take this thing on the road with me, and it would, bounce on in the back of my truck for, I think, up to like a 3-hour trip at one time. Never heard it at all. I think it got rained on once. I forgot to unload it, and it sat outside in the rain, and I let it dry out, and it still worked the next day. So if you've been in the market for one, it is the Evolution Chop Saw. We could do a quick review because I've had the circular saw now for 3 years. I don't use that as much. The only time I use that is for like cutting out plate, which I do a lot, and I'll probably even use it. I'll probably actually use it more now because I use it to cut down all the sheets for the CNC table. But I'll also probably not use it as much because now I have a CNC table to cut out a plate. So my guess is the circular saw will probably just full-time get put in the service truck and I can use it then, which will be cool because it is definitely handy to have, and I've definitely forgot it a few times, which is never fun. But if you've been in the market for a new chop saw, you want something to speed you up, you want something to improve your quality, I would go with the 14-inch Evolution chop saw. And I would even pick this over a bandsaw. Guys are always talking to me, and you need to get a bandsaw. The reason being, you guys know, I have a small shop. It's like a 20 by 20. And how much footprint something takes up is a big deal. I love the chop saw because I can set it up on my table and I can just start chopping away, and if I need it out of the way, I can put it on the shelf or out in the storage shed. It doesn't matter. With a bandsaw, it's pretty much stationary. It's pretty much going to be in your way all the time. The other thing I don't like about it is, like, in the winter, I have a 20-foot shop, so I can take a 20-foot stick, go put it all the way on that wall down there, and start cutting off sections. Whereas a bandsaw, if I set it here, it's going to be a very big headache to move. I could put it on casters and stuff, but again, it's just something that you're moving in and out of your way all the time, and it's going to slow you down. And this cuts faster than a bandsaw, and the cut quality is just as good. Granted, I have to manually be here to cut this, but that's okay. I don't mind. And with this, and I don't actually know if you're supposed to, but like with a dull blade on this 2-inch angle iron, this is 3/16 wall stuff, 2-inch angle iron. I stack them too high and cut them, and so I cut them just like this in the saw, and it works perfect. I haven't have them like bust loose on me or anything crazy like that. So it works good. And I've cut like super thick stuff, like 2-inch solid stock with this. The other big thing I like about it is after you cut it, it's cool to the touch. You can pick it up. You don't have to worry about burning your hands. You don't have to worry about letting it cool down. None of that. So anyways, guys, that's my 3-year review on my Evolution Chop Saw 14-inch. Let me give you some of the specs on it real quick. It is a 14-inch. I wasn't completely sure. I was just guessing, but 14-inch. Maybe I've only had it 2 years. Manufactured 5/20/20. Thought I had it 3. I guess I've had it 2 years. And it is a 15 amp. And 1,450 RPM. So, excuse me, I guess this is a 2-year review. Anyways, great saw, good quality. Like them a lot. So if you're in the market for one, this is the one I would choose. So anyways, guys, that's all for you today. Remember, if you're not burning, you're not learning, and I'll see you on the next video.